Hello everybody, welcome to Predictive Modeling. I'm Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with you about 5 to 6 days a week, giving you free picks on the show. Of course, it is brought to you by the Rhythm app. Claim your 14-day free trial with the Rhythm app. And of course, you can create your own custom sports betting models with the Rhythm app. And it really saves you a lot of time in your handicapping because you still do the thinking and the logic. You still have to put in your factors in your handicapping as well as weighing your factors. And the app just takes over from there, saving you, well, for me, it saves me 30 minutes to 2 hours a day of handicapping because my entire handicapping process is programmed in the system. And pretty much the Rhythm app goes out there and does the grunt work, like finding my variances, finding my edges, how well my model is performing, my ROI on plays like Moneyline, and so forth. So fantastic app, guys. If you handicap by yourself, yourself, I recommend the app. If you still buy picks, this app won't be for you, but it's not for everyone. But if you handicap the game, you want to view the entire board, which will give you the best edges, I suggest that. Always play your 5 to 25% edges with the software. All right, let's get underway here with Predictive Modeling. We've got 5 picks for you, so let's get this one underway here. Pick number 1, we go here with action tonight, Central Michigan and Ohio. Here on Predictive Modeling, we're going to go under 48.5. You can find under 48.5. You can find that 48.5 number right now. 48 is the sharpest book in the world. That's where the sharp money is going. That's where my model says to go as well. So I line up with the sharps. You know, the sharps, they model, but not everyone uses the same model. Not everyone uses the same factors. So the sharps are not going to always line up on the same side, especially because they are using these computer models to generate their picks. And again, it is going to be their logic and their thought going into the manufacturing of the model. The model just takes care of the grunt work, like computing is done, right? Computing is taking care of all the grunt work, but you still got to formulate your logic. Under 48.5, we've talked about this one earlier. We like the underdog here, Central Michigan plus the 11. We've seen Ohio play a lot of these low-scoring games. And the bottom line here is the Ohio offense, right? When you look at Ohio, they're really struggling offensively for the season, but somehow win games, right? They're sitting 101st in the nation total offense, averaging 3.7 yards per rush, inefficient in their passing game. They do play the defense. That's why they, for several years, even when Solik was the head coach, how they were able to have success in the MAC. We're going to take the under 48.5 in this one. Win probability 62.2%. We have an 18.7% edge based on my handicapping methods, my factors, and how I weigh my factors. The total points come in at, not my number, 44.6. So there's enough variance here to give me a good edge under 48.5 here with Central Michigan and Ohio. All right, let's continue on here on Predictive Modeling. Let's get to the next game. And we'll go to game number 2 here. We got Buffalo and Miami going head-to-head. And we're going to take the favorite here, Miami, Ohio, minus the 7.5. That's how it factors out in my model. We gave the over in the game. Miami, Ohio, laying the 7.5. Buffalo has not been a strong a road team this year. They've been really a disappointment. When we look at the Red Hawks, they've been a really efficient passing team, averaging 14.2 yards per completion, 8.1 yards per pass attempt. And Bulls, really poor pass defense, allowing opposing quarterbacks 63% completion rate. And of course, Miami O at home, pretty good offense here, 31 points, 385 yards a game. And of course, here's the factor here. Miami O is running for 4.5 yards a carry. Buffalo's giving up 5 yards per rush, so that can open up the playing field here for Miami O. We'll take Miami O here, minus 7.5 here on Predictive Modeling. All right, let's continue on here on Predictive Modeling. Shout out to Zhao out there in the chat room. Shout out to you there. We're going to catch that. We're going to hit this game as well. All right, let's get the next one here. Game number 3, we move to the NBA. Dallas and the Washington Wizards. We're seeing Dallas, the road favorite, 5.5. Total 244.5. We're going to take Wizards here, money line, plus 168. Must note right now, we're not going to duplicate the picks that we gave you guys overnight. There'll be different picks. I'm always going to try and look for the money line dog first in my model. And if I don't have the money line dog, if it doesn't hit with that 5 to 25% rate that we play on, then we're going to basically look for the other side. We'll give you either a side or total. It will be a different side than what we gave overnight. If I gave you a total overnight, then we're going to give you a spread here on the show, and then vice versa. Again, they always have to I have to have enough games that will fall in that criteria. That's the most important thing. I'm not going to give you a game that's under 5% because you're going to get juiced out. If I go over 25%, then it's not recommended that you play the games over 25% because that's too much variance between the market and your number, and you need to do further investigating. The market shouldn't be more than 25% off your model. That's the recommendation. Wizards here, money line plus 168. The issue here with Dallas, they've been winning games with bad defense. They are a poor defensive team, allowing over 49.5% shooting, nearly 37% from three. The Mavericks, 25th in defensive efficiency, allowing 116 points per 100 possessions. We know that Washington does defend better at home, allowing 46% shooting. When you have a bad defense, these are the teams that you look to go against here on the money line, especially here with Dallas here in a back-to-back situation. Wizards money line plus 168. Your win probability 42.3%. You have a 13.3% edge. Based on my handicapping factors and how I weigh my factors, my number comes out Mavericks 126.4, Wizards 124.4. Enough of an edge here to take the Wizards money line plus 168. All right, let's continue on here on predictive modeling. It is now time for pick number 4 here on the show, and we continue in NBA, Orlando and Chicago. And in this one, we're going to take the Magic here at plus the 1.5 in this game tonight between these two. Looking here at the Magic, the Magic's been defense. We know they've had some defensive issues, but Chicago here coming off of the performance here against the Bucks where they couldn't cover, and they allowed 47% shooting to Milwaukee here in this one. When you look here at the Bulls defense over their past 5 games, they're allowing 115 points per 100 possessions. That's the concern here. We're going to come in here and take, and also Levine in the news wanting to get traded. We knew this was going to happen with the Bulls, right? If you've been following the show, I say this a lot on the drive-through. We knew Levine, DeRozan, these are two. We knew that this was going to probably unravel in Chicago. But we're going to come in and take care of the Magic plus 1.5. A win probability here has 60.8% if you take the Magic plus 1.5%, edge 16%. Based on my handicapping factors and how I weigh them, my number comes in. Magic should be favored by 1.7. We're getting 1.1 plus 1.5 here, enough of an edge. Let's take, in this one, the Magic at plus 1.5. All right, this is Predictive Modeling, brought to you by the Rhythm app. Let's continue on. Next game, as our man Zhang Zhao said in the chat, Phoenix and Minnesota going head-to-head tonight. In the video I gave the Timberwolves, and that number's coming down a bit here, but Timberwolves money line plus 182 will be the play here. And of course, we know Minnesota, an 8-2 team. It is a back-to-back spot, not a difficult travel spot from San Francisco to Phoenix. When we look here at Minnesota, man, they can really lean on a really good defense. They are number 1 in defensive efficiency, allowing 102 points per 100 possessions. In comparisons, the Suns are giving up 111.1 points per 100 possessions, and they have a minus 0.2 net rating for the season. The T-Wolves have the plus 8.3 net rating. So the variance here is for the T-Wolves plus 8.5 on the net rating. But based here on my model, when you take Minnesota on the money line today at plus 182 or a better number, your win probability is 40.6%. You have a 14.5% edge. Based on my handicapping factors and how I weighed them, in my model I come out Phoenix 111.8, Minnesota 109.2. That's enough value here to take the Minnesota Timberwolves, the money line, at plus the 182. All right, there, lining up there with Jing Zhao. You may sprinkle some of the money line in that one because I know you like the Wolves tonight. All right, let's continue on here. We got through all 5 picks, so let's go ahead and let's recap the plays from today's show. We started off here with under 48.5 in the MAC game. Of course, I didn't tell you what the game was, right? It will be under here between Central Michigan and Ohio. Central Michigan, Ohio, under 48.5. And then we come in here with Miami O, minus 7.5. We like the Wizards money line plus 168 against Dallas. Then we come in here with the Magic plus 1.5 against the Bulls. And then we came in here with T-Wolves. Zhang Zhou like the Wolves too tonight. Let's see what he said. I bet heavy on the Wolves last night, so I'm going to bet on them again to cover the spread. So he's going to spread cover tonight. And that's just like we said, it was going to be a nasty game. If you listen to the drive-through, I told you there was going to be a fight in the game. It was pretty easy to figure out if you saw the first one. There was a lot of venom between Minnesota and Phoenix, and we correctly told you to keep an eye on that. And of course, tempers flew and in that game. And of course, there's some bad blood between these two teams. If you happen to watch Game 1, I'm sure Zhao Zhang understand that when you watched the first one. Some folks were like taking a breath. So our friends out on the East Coast probably didn't stay up to see that Game 1 of that series. How crazy it turned out when they gave that hard foul to Edwards in Game 1 of the series. You knew something was going to happen. And there's a reason why they sat Curry. I really think they sat Curry to protect him. I really did, because I think they were going to retaliate on Curry. That's my opinion in that one. All right, guys. So we got you the plays. The drive-through starts in about half an hour. I'm going to do the show prep right now for that. We'll be ready for a good show on the drive-through. We got the good crew, good picks coming in. And remember, guys, claim your 14-day free trial with the Rhythm app and save time with your handicapping with Rhythm, because pretty much it's still your logic. It's still your thought that goes into making the model. That's why it's a custom sports betting model. And Rhythm just takes care of all the grunt work that's time-consuming, like scraping lines, factoring your edges, basically factoring in the results, your return on investment. All that is factored in the app. All you have to do is work on tweaking your model. All right, that's going to do it for the show today. Thank you, everybody. Zhao Jing, appreciate your kind words out there. I hope you are handicapping on your own too. And also, if you would, it's good to compare the numbers there. And of course, Green and it was a Green and Clay gone mad. The Warren balls to shot the ball. Yeah, that's right, man. We saw that in Game 1 of that series. You knew there was going to be some retaliation, and that's why I felt they sat Curry. All right, that's going to do it for the show, guys. Stay tuned for the drive-through in half an hour. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.